Have you ever stared out at the vast, endless ocean and wondered, what if it was all gone? What if one day we woke up to find the oceans and seas had completely dried up? It sounds like the plot of a disaster movie, but let's explore this mind-bending what-if scenario together. What would our world actually look like? First, the sheer visual shock would be staggering. Imagine, instead of blue waves, there's a colossal, dusty basin stretching to the horizon. The familiar shapes of our continents would be connected by vast, new land masses. The seafloor, a world hidden for millennia, would be exposed. We'd see towering underwater mountain ranges like the mid-Atlantic ridge, now just colossal, dry peaks. Deep trenches like the Mariana Trench would become the deepest canyons on Earth, plunging miles into the planet's crust. It would be an explorer's dream and a cartographer's nightmare. Our entire world map would need to be redrawn, but the novelty would quickly turn to horror. The oceans are the planet's thermostat. They absorb a massive amount of the sun's heat and distribute it around the globe through currents. Without this colossal body of water, our climate would go haywire. Coastal areas, once cooled by sea breezes, would experience scorching, desert-like temperatures. Inland areas, no longer moderated by oceanic influence, would face extreme temperature swings, blistering hot days and freezing cold nights. The entire concept of mild weather would vanish. Global temperatures would skyrocket, making vast regions of our planet simply uninhabitable. Then comes the air we breathe. Did you know that phytoplankton, tiny marine plants in the ocean, produce more than half of the oxygen in our atmosphere? If the oceans dried up, this primary source of oxygen would disappear. The air would become thinner, harder to breathe. We wouldn't suffocate overnight, but the gradual decline in oxygen levels would have devastating effects on all air-breathing life, including us. We'd feel constantly tired, struggle with physical activity, and face severe long-term health problems. The very atmosphere would become hostile to life as we know it. And what about water? The oceans are the heart of the water cycle. They evaporate, form clouds, and deliver rain to the land. With new oceans, this cycle would grind to a halt. Rain would become a distant memory. Rivers would dry up, lakes would evaporate, and the world would be plunged into a permanent, planet-wide drought of unimaginable scale. Agriculture would collapse entirely. No water means no crops, no livestock. Famine would be immediate and absolute. The lush green forests and grasslands we know would wither and die, turning into endless, dusty wastelands. The loss of life would be catastrophic and almost instantaneous. Every single marine creature, from the smallest krill to the great blue whale, would be gone. The greatest mass extinction event in Earth's history would happen in a flash. The silence of the seas would be deafening. This ecological collapse wouldn't stop at the shoreline. Land, animals, and birds that depend on the ocean for food would starve. The entire food web of the planet would unravel, leading to a domino effect of extinctions across every ecosystem. And what about us? Human civilization is built on the shores of the ocean. Our major cities, our trade routes, our economies, they are all intrinsically linked to the sea. Global shipping, which transports 90% of the world's trade, would cease to exist. Economies would crumble. Nations would be isolated. The newly exposed seabed would be a treacherous, salty desert, impossible to farm and difficult to trade. The salt and other minerals left behind would be kicked up by the wind, creating toxic dust storms that would sweep across the continents, further poisoning the land and air. Society would likely collapse into chaos. Billions of people would be displaced. desperately searching for the last remaining sources of fresh water, perhaps locked away in underground aquifers or polar ice caps. Conflicts over these dwindling resources would be inevitable. The world would become a battleground for survival. We'd have to develop new technologies, perhaps massive-scale desalination of underground brine or atmospheric water generation, just to have a fighting chance. But the scale of the disaster would be so immense, it's hard to imagine humanity surviving. The exposed ocean floor would reveal more than just mountains and canyons. We'd find the secrets of our own history. Countless shipwrecks, from ancient Roman galleys to modern cargo ships, perfectly preserved in the dry, salty conditions. We might even find lost cities, remnants of ancient civilizations swallowed by the sea. It would be the greatest archaeological discovery in history. A museum of humanity's past laid bare, but it would be a bitter discovery, a testament to a world we had lost forever. So, what would our planet become? A dry, dusty, overheated, and oxygen-poor world, almost like a vision of Mars. A silent, barren rock with a thin, barely breathable atmosphere. It's a terrifying thought, and it highlights just how vital our oceans are. They are not just big pools of water. They are the lifeblood of our planet. They regulate our climate, provide our oxygen, and sustain the web of life. This what-if scenario is extreme, but it serves as a powerful reminder of the delicate balance of our planet's systems. While our oceans aren't going to dry up tomorrow, they are under threat from climate change, pollution, and overfishing. Protecting our oceans is not just about saving the whales or the coral reefs. It's about saving ourselves. They are the heart of our world, and a healthy heart is essential for a healthy life. Thank you so much for joining me on this thought experiment. It's a bit grim, I know, but it really makes you appreciate the beautiful blue planet we call home. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more what-if scenarios and deep dives into the wonders of our world. Let me know in the comments what you think would be the most challenging part of living on a world without oceans. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next one.